Good morning, all. I hope you are well. Today's weather report is brought to you by spring in Ohio. It is cloudy with little peaks of sunshine, but there's all kinds of buds all over the trees. And it's very exciting because everything's going to explode soon, like in a good way. Good morning, Linda. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the world to start getting greener and more of the flowering trees to bloom, and it's just going to be beautiful. I think it's supposed to rain today, but it's spring in Ohio, so who actually knows what's going to happen with the weather, with the precipitation. It's always a beautiful surprise, isn't it? Good morning, other Linda and Dana and other Linda. We have 3 Lindas this morning. Good morning, Melanie. Oh, I love all the Lindas. It makes me happy. Oh, and we have a Bruce. Hi, Bruce. So, last night we started our new Bible study on the book of Ruth. And so we have a Bible study every Wednesday evening on Zoom, so anybody can join from wherever you are. And it really is, I would say it's a collaborative conversation. I bring information, and other people bring information and what they have learned throughout the week. Other people bring questions, and we just come together and we talk and we wonder and everything. And it's a really nice time to connect. And I would love to send you the link wherever you are joining from to join us on Zoom. But last night we started our study on the book of Ruth, and we just did an overview of the book. And as we were doing the overview, it's such an interesting and neat story. It's such a, there's not really another book in the Bible like it, because really the book of Ruth is about one family. It's not about the nation of Israel specifically. It's not about anything. And really God is not mentioned very much at all. Some of the characters mention God, but the narrator of the story doesn't mention how God is working in the greater story. But you can still see God there. You can still see God working, and how God is guiding things and helping people, and how God is kind of behind the scenes. And also you can see how people have free will, and they have the ability to make choices as to whether to do one thing or another. And so it's this story about kind of the mundane and this journey of Naomi and Ruth specifically, and then Boaz, and how they go from tragedy to then restoration. And it's about this one, and it's kind of mundane, and it's very kind of matter of fact, like these are the things that happen, and this is the conversation that they have, and all of that. But then there's this other level that's there. And it's the level of God is working. God is working in all of the mundane. God is working behind the scenes. And then at the end of the story, we see how redemption comes for that family. And then there's this epilogue. And in the epilogue, it shows how, spoiler alert, Ruth and Boaz have a son. And that son turns out to be the grandfather of King David. And King David's line, his lineage, leads to Jesus. And so it's this really neat twist right at the end. So there's all of this mundane. Here's this story. Yeah. Okay, we can learn some things from it. And then right at the end, it's like, oh, and P.S., all of this mundane stuff led to the Messiah. And it's so neat to think about, good morning, John, to think about how God can work in the mundane of our lives too. How God is working, and it just takes us recognizing that and recognizing how God is working in the mundane of whether we're still working from home or we're transitioning and working elsewhere, whether we're taking care of the grandkids or we're helping our own kids with homework and taking them to all of the lessons and all the different things, or we're sitting at the computer all day and doing that kind of stuff. And if you're a salesman making cold calls to people or cleaning, God's working in that. And I want to encourage you in the next week to focus on how God is working in that mundane, whatever mundane it is. I encourage you to look for that. And I would also love to hear in the comments if you have, if anything comes to mind for you, any mundane thing, and you want to share that, how God is working through the mundane in your life. And because there's always this greater purpose, there's always this greater plan, and it takes us being attuned to it and being open to it and being receptive to it. So good morning, Elaine. So I just want to leave that with you, and I pray that that you have the courage to do that. And I say courage because we are going into a new series on Sunday, and it's all about the courage it takes to be a disciple. This Sunday, we're talking about the courage to be vulnerable. And it takes a lot of courage to acknowledge that we don't have it all together and we can't do it by ourselves and we're not God. And to acknowledge that for ourselves, acknowledge it to God, and then share that with other people and be vulnerable with other people so that they can also be vulnerable with us and create a deeper sense of community. That's all I'm going to say, though, because then you don't have any reason to join on Sunday other than, like praying and being with other people, and also the songs and Jenny's children's moment and all the other things that are on Sunday. But so join us on Sunday, 9:00 on the Facebooks and the internets, on the website and the YouTube. And I hope that you have a fantastic day. I hope the sun shines just on you for a moment, and that you know you are loved and you are cared for, and that you're cuddled today. How about that? All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.